Everywhere we go, I'm that nigga.
Ladies
no disrespect.
and gentlemen, we're back. We took a sabbatical, a much-needed sabbatical, because it was hard to even want to talk about the Raiders. So X and I took a sabbatical, and we watched the games, obviously, but we needed a breather from putting this team on a pedestal every week and predicting them to win and them embarrassing us. But I go by the name Obvi. I'm changing his name to the most realistic Raider fan in the world. We talked earlier today about just some of the things he's tried to be realistic about have kind of all come true. Derek Carr, coaching, the ownership, stuff like that I've kind of been more on the positive side, like about, when it comes to Mark Davis, he's trying as hard as he can. And the reason why I don't always come down on ownership is because like he tried to make the splashes by like getting Gruden back, which is for Raider Nation and for, just systematically. Gruden is a good coach. He's one of the greatest minds to ever come to football. But we've fallen short so much that I'm starting to realize a lot of your negativity was actually just like realization.
And I don't even mean to be negative. It's more so just like when you're as rich as Mark Davis is, you have access to a lot of resources. So like he can put the people around him that he needs to make the correct decisions. And I think with the hiring of Tom Brady, he's finally starting to do that. But
yeah, with the hiring of Tom Brady, I mean, is probably one of the just some very early synopsis from my side of things. But with the hiring of Tom Brady, it's like one of the best things in my last 20 years as a fan that Mark Davis has done. And I don't know what Brady is as an executive, a coach, any of that. I know kind of now what he is as an announcer, but I know what he is as a player, what he demanded of his teams, the teams that he won with, the Super Bowls he won with certain teams that no other quarterback in history could have won a Super Bowl with.
yeah, nasty receiving
cores, just
brother.
like
Respect.
like he would probably get 10 wins in his prime, 10 wins with the team we have now with
Yeah,
receivers that are lining up that haven't even had
yeah,
a
he would just
career
know where to
catch.
put the ball. So like
Yeah.
he's a gamer.
So
Brady's
he's a
always been
gamer. 7 championships is him himself personally has more championships than any franchise in the NFL.
When I see him getting hired, it lets me know that we're heading in the right direction. It also lets me know that some other people are going to be out the door this time next year when it comes to the offseason because, Brady being the winner, the way that he leads, you know what I'm saying? He demands excellence from everybody around him.
Can I play you something? Do you think that this is one of the people out of the door? I personally don't. I think this is being taken out of context, but since this just got posted 2 hours ago, I thought we would cover it
Yeah, I
right
wanted to
away.
get into this. Let's get
But
into
this is
it.
our very own. This is
It's right on topic.
probably my favorite player in Raider history talking.
I'm not here to rebuild. I'm here to win. So, I don't know whatever that means, but yeah, I'm here to win now, and wherever I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be here to win. So that's all that matters to me.
The only thing is the wherever I'm gonna be kind of. That's Max Crosby. The wherever I'm gonna be thing kind of made me a little nervous. I know that's just in case, like
That's more of a shot to ownership, like get your shit together,
Well,
or it could happen
the thing is
because
like
he's too great.
yeah, but I would feel bad if Max wasn't pounding the table to keep AP, and then things aren't going the way as planned. So like he said he was going to demand a trade, and so did Adams if they were not going to hire AP. So we didn't interview Belichick, we didn't interview Harbaugh. So we didn't interview 2 of the best candidates for coaches available, and we hired within an interim coach. Only I think might have been the 3rd time we've ever done it, maybe 2nd time that we've hired one. I believe that no, not intern. I think this might have been the first time ever. But we've hired position coaches, with John Madden, and we hired former players like Art Shell.
But see, I think that's where the problem lies. They listen to the players. Any respectable organization with merit
isn't going to
doesn't.
listen to the players.
Yeah, they're not going to be held hostage. They're going to say we're doing things our way, and if you want it, like, bro, hold on, let me finish. Devontae said all those things he said. Oh, I'm a Raider this, Raider that, and then he stopped playing, hamstring, quote unquote, and then he popped up at Jets practice. Already had some custom Jordan PEs in green, ready to go. So I mean, these guys say things. At the end of the day, you have to, from the top, trust your brass. I guess now the brass is Tom Brady and those
It's
guys.
Tom.
But before, when they listen to the players hiring AP, it's right now we're 2-4, and it looks like we might not eclipse 4 wins. So I mean, I think that with Brady coming, we will finally have the organizational structure that I've been dying for.
Well,
for the last 20
he played
years.
under the top tier organizational structure. Now there's a lot of rumors about him wanting to hire Belichick, and I'm not. I love him, and I think he's a great coach, but I'm not in for the 74-year-old mind states anymore.
I'm in for winning.
Yeah, winning, which he didn't do without a great quarterback. Now, can he develop a great quarterback? Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Brady was a rookie.
Yeah, and he developed Matt Castle, and that guy came in and won 10 games.
Went to the playoffs.
He developed Drew Bledsoe.
Jimmy G's bum ass. Respectfully.
He developed Jimmy G. He definitely has the capability of developing a quarterback. As I talk about on every episode of the podcast, I talk to my dad about it. My dad does not want him. He wants a young, fresh mind with a great philosophy. He's not even all the way out on AP, which I don't think anybody should be right now. I understand that he doesn't have a philosophy, but some head coaches can hire a philosophy. So, like, my favorite coach in the NFL is the Lions head coach. And now he comes with a grit and is Dan Campbell's a former fucking great player, at least a good player, but a fucking savage attitude. He's healthy looking, and then he's like one of those guys where you could believe in him. It's like, this guy gets down, this guy lift weights with us. It's like he has what AP has. They both have similar, like, you can believe in that person because they've been there. And the difference is that Dan Campbell has the best OC in the NFL, in my opinion.
Shout out to Ben Johnson.
Other than Andy Reid, who obviously is the play caller, or McVay or Shanahan, he's up there. He's in their tier. The plays I watched him call against the Cowboys last week was like, I would do anything for this kind of creativity. Now, given they have a lot of weapons, but that brings me back to the point of, like, have I been fully written off on AP? I don't think so. Telesco I like, because this draft, it's really hard to draft in the NFL. It's really hard to hit on multiple picks usually. Some are better than others, but we look like we definitely hit on a tight end who's leading the league in a lot of yards, receptions, first downs, yards after catch. A lot of important categories our rookie tight end is leading in. Shout out to Brock. But 2 linemen that look like they're going to be linemen that we can build with for the future, because linemen are, a lot of fans, they see the glitz and the glamour, they see the touchdowns, they see the throws, and don't understand. There is a good amount of fans who do understand this, but most of them don't. They don't understand the trenches and how important the trenches really are. And I want to circle back just for a couple of seconds on the Max Crosby thing, because I love Max, probably my favorite Raider ever, bro, like, other than Woodson. But pounding the table for a coach, you were saying don't listen to your players. Now, you have to a certain extent, but on decisions as big as the head coach, you can't. So I agree with you there. But
I think as far as AP and Telesco go, I'm not going to say that I'm out, but I'm not going to say that I'm in, because
Telesco's a general manager.
I know, I get that, but he
didn't hire AP,
but he selected when he saw the landscape of all the quarterbacks out there this summer, when we didn't get Penix, his plan, ladies and gentlemen, was to go with Gardner Minshew,
which in what's in hindsight now is genius.
I don't want to hear about.
Listen.
No, let me finish my point. When Justin Fields is out there going 4-2 for a 6th-round pick, I get it. It's just
He was
another
just
year.
benched,
It's just
FYI, for
yeah,
the listeners.
He was benched 4-2, a record that we won't see.
Because he averages 100
2 games over 500 is a record
passing.
that we won't have this year. So let me finish my point. Tom Telesco has to show that he gives us some type of advantage. AP, we've lost every game by double digits other than the games that we've won, but our 4 losses have all been double-digit losses. And on that slate have been Andy Dalton, Bo Nix, who you're not fond of, either of those guys,
Terrible.
right? So
Andy's much better than
So
Bo.
if they're terrible, then what does that make us is the question that I ask you. Let me finish. Under AP.
It's a long point.
Yeah, no, it is a long point because I have to get it off because AP has to show us before the season's over that he does something other than smoke cigars when we beat teams that are under 500.
Yeah.
Because so far, I haven't seen, because you say Dan Henderson.
Well, we did beat one of the best teams in the league.
That's great, but let's see where they're at the end of the year and let's see where we are.
They'll be in a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying because he needs to show us that he needs to be around when Tom cleans house.
So I understand your point, but I'm going to further why I believe in Telesco. The reason why I believe in Telesco is because he signed Gardner Minshew. I know that he looked at it and said, okay, and I'm going to just put this out in front of me. It makes it easier to have a visual presentation in front of me. So I know that Gardner Minshew is not my future. I know that Justin Fields could be, but is not even getting 200 yards passing, which as a Raider fan, brother, respectfully, I'm fucking done with that shit because we had Carr, who is a much better passer than Justin Fields, and he couldn't even get it done. He's not the future. Sam Darnold is not the future of our team. Baker Mayfield is not the future of our team. Baker's fucking killing it. I love it.
He was out there. Kirk Cousins was out there.
He was out.
All these teams
so
will be in the
technically,
playoffs.
you say they're out there, but do I want the Raiders to go get in a high bid to go get Baker Mayfield?
How much is high bid? How much did he cost?
100 million plus.
I'll take it.
I know, but 100 million plus for what could be maybe Baker, like what Baker's doing now, he hasn't done his entire career.
He took the Browns.
He's spunky.
Won a playoff game with the Browns.
He's spunky. He
won a playoff game with the Bucks.
couple ins and outs. But what I'm looking for as a Raider fan is future. I'm looking for a 23-year-old, brother. I'm looking for fresh out of the fucking kennel to come and take us to have a franchise quarterback. The Chiefs gave Pat Mahomes a 10-year deal. Now, are we going to just land a Mahomes every year? No. But it sure in the fuck seems like Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, all these guys are I'm not going in the free agency looking for future. So Telesco to me,
the Vikings did.
Yeah, Telesco, they went and drafted a quarterback, right?
But that nigga.
Darnold was a back. Darnold would have never played a single game this year had McCarthy stayed healthy.
But now,
I'm just saying.
But now let's see what happens with McCarthy.
I can guarantee you, Sam Darnold's on a 1-year contract. I can guarantee you that they re-sign him for like a 2-year.
McCarthy's not playing next year.
They'll have a QB battle. If McCarthy beats him out, he'll play. If not, Darnold will do it, and McCarthy will sit behind him. But McCarthy's going nowhere. That's a future. He was drafted very high. So what I'm trying to explain to you and also to people that are listening is that as a Raider fan, I am sick of signing guys that have already been in the league and are already playing. I'm done with it, bro. I'm done with it. I know we drafted Derek Carr in the second round, but I want a top dog like we did with Russell, and it failed miserably. But that's what I want as a fan. So yeah, you could go out and get these guys and pray to God that they show up and do what they're doing. But like, does Baker do on the Raiders what he's doing with the butt? Like, we don't know. So you can't sit here. You can do it in hindsight and be like, Telesco should have went with one of these guys. But
oh no, I said that before.
I know you.
I'm
not saying that.
Just in general, I get what you're saying.
I'm trying to say Telesco probably purposely went and got Gardner Minshew because he wanted to bum out. I swear to God. Because it looks like we had a win now roster, but what happens? Kuntz gets hurt. We don't have John Lynch depth. John Lynch depth is really important. And that's something that takes a couple years. Because you could go win and win a playoff game, but inevitably you want to win a ring, brother. Inevitably you want a championship. So for the Raiders to go get a championship, it's going to take just a little while. You could do it as quick as 3 to 5 years, but to get the depth that you need to go and get a championship, the Lions had to The Lions went what 8-9. They went
I
3.
mean,
So
they've
Dan
been
Campbell
awful my
took
whole
over.
life.
They won what 3? Yeah, they won 3 games, and then they went 8-9, and then they went to an NFC Championship. Now that's obviously the goal of every team is to do it that quickly. But Packers went 8-9 with fucking Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. We had Devontae Adams too. We had some pieces that are superstars. 8-9. We went 8-9 last year too with a dumpster fire of a quarterback situation. We went 8-9 with that team. So I get frustration of being like, yeah, go get a Baker, not a Darnold, because who fucking expected that? Okay. No one.
The Geno stories.
I know, brother.
And I get it. And I
get it. That's all hindsight, though. Geno starts to do good, and then you say Geno story. But how many times do you want the Raiders to bank in on if somebody's gonna just like be good out of that situation?
These
quarterback
niggas better
wise?
start evaluating talent, because let me tell you, what we've done with the first round picks over the last 20 years has been the worst.
Besides Brock Bowers.
Besides Brock Bowers,
And it's not
has
so,
been the worst over any
yeah,
sport.
yeah,
Organizational
but
ineptitude is at the core of all of this, nigga.
X.
And that's the problem I have.
X, you have to go regime for regime. You could say 20 years, but right now we're in a new listen.
Mark Davis is at the top of all this
Right
shit.
now we're in a new regime. Okay? A regime.
All right,
we're in a new one.
And it's looking
he landed on the first round pick. So right now, all we have to bring up is the first round pick that we got this year, which is one of the best first round picks we've had since Khalil Mack, correct?
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs, correct? Brock's showing the fuck out. Now listen, and that's doing it with no help at wide receiver. Go ahead, say his name.
Who?
Say it.
Tyreek McAllister?
Tyleek McAllister.
I'm not saying
say another one. DJ.
No, yeah, I know.
Shout out to these cats.
Trey Tucker, DJ Turner, all them niggas.
But
is grinding.
imagine
I respect them.
Trey Tucker has no business being. He needs to be in the slot. He doesn't need to be receiver one. So listen. Let me finish the point.
And then I'm going. And then I have so much to say.
Then you'll go. My point being, for the Raiders to get to right the ship, no pun intended, for them to right the ship, they need to go get a quarterback. And I can't do it anymore out of the free agency. I'm immune to it. We tried drafting AOC, it's not working out. We tried going with Jimmy G, not working out. We went with Matt Flynn. We went with Carson Palmer. We went with Jason Campbell. We went with Dante Culpepper. We went with Aaron Brooks. We went with all our fucking backups. I'm not doing it anymore, bro. So I would rather suck fucking ass for the rest of my fucking life drafting quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, trying to figure it out. That's what I want, because I'm like sitting there with just such jealousy of the Texans and the Redskins. Now we'll see where the Commanders end up. Sorry, not Redskins, but to see who the Commanders end up at the end of the season. But right now it's looking like they made a fantastic decision. And so other organizations, they take chances on quarterbacks, and the teams that are here running the table right now, they have a guy that they drafted in the first round that is working out. So we can't talk about what Telesco did in the free agency. What I could talk about is he wouldn't sign the number one free agent available.
I can speak on what he did in free agency. And I'm not even here to be negative. I'm just here to look at I'm here to look at the landscape. I love the Christian Wilkins pickup. Dylan Lobb, we'll see. 1 carry, 1 fumble so far. We got some
but DJ Glaze.
Hold on. And then when I'm just talking, I said a second ago, organizational ineptitude is at the core of this, because what would bring a person in their right mind to hire Luke Getsy, my nigga? So you keep speaking about this quarterback. We need a quarterback. You gonna give this nigga Luke Getsy?
I think it was a lot to do with, first of all, I'm willing.
Let me say on the fucking record here for everybody here out there listening, I am completely 100,000% out on Luke Getsy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
willing to bet everything I have he will not be the.
I'm always in on the Raiders, but like at some point we gotta call a spade a spade.
I think it had a little bit to do with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Letting the players call the shots. We didn't hire Cliff Kingsbury. Now they got shit popping in Washington. I'm just saying, bro.
Because it's not again.
It's not hindsight 2020. We know what Cliff did. The Cardinals won a playoff game. They don't win playoff games with him and Kyler.
Yeah, he was let go.
They did let him go, but I'm saying, Getsy was let
great
go.
play caller.
Getsy was let go without any playoff experience. He was just on the Bears last year.
Well, because the one thing that I hate about offensive coordinators that just like want you to work in their system and they don't work with you, it drives me nuts.
First and
Because
22 handoffs, ladies and
it's like,
gentlemen.
because if Getsy has his way, he's going to go get a quarterback that the one we don't want. It's going to be someone
it's
that
going to
we
be
don't
Carson
want.
Beck, and that's when I break my TV.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. Getsy won't be here. AP may stay, but Getsy won't be here. But if the thing is, you talk about organizational. Yeah, exactly.
And when I saw that Tom was a part owner, the only thing I wanted was for him to own more, nigga. I wish that he owned a higher percentage of the team.
But that doesn't matter. See, Mark
Let the
Davis,
nigga run football ops.
Mark Davis wanted to bring him in at quarterback, and John Gruden stopped that. You can blame our coaches more than you can, and that has to do with hiring. But you can blame our coaches for a lot of the things that are happening right now. A lot of the years of because brother, you think you're hiring the right guy when you're hiring Gruden. Everybody thinks that.
What did they think when they hired Josh McDaniel?
They were thinking they were bringing in one of the best offensive minds in the last 20 years. And yeah, he did it with Brady. I get it.
No, but let me ask you this.
He won a bunch of championships as a play caller.
Brother, he
sucked as a head coach for the Broncos.
No. He drafted Tim Tebow, nigga. Like that's what he
and also
did,
that's hindsight as well. Because
that's not hindsight. Anybody who saw Tebow knew what it was, brother.
Yeah, they knew that he
Mark
was.
Sanchez, niggas know what it is with some of these quarterbacks.
First of all, Mark Sanchez went to an AFC championship.
Brother, don't play this.
All I'm saying, Tim Tebow won a playoff game. So you talk about that's something you just brought up. That's something you just brought up. You said
I'm talking about franchise.
I know, but you said what?
What
he won a playoff game.
We can bring up.
That's what you're saying about Baker Mayfield.
Oh no, Baker Mayfield.
So Tim Tebow won a playoff game against one of the best Steelers defenses ever.
He won a playoff game on two different teams. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, congratulations, Baker. I've been rooting for you since college, brother. So if you ever see this, I'm happy that you're succeeding. The reason why we didn't have a chance getting him, bro. The Buccaneers were working on re-signing him the whole time. So I'm not gonna go fucking outbid anybody for backyard quarterbacks anymore, bro. I'm done.
And I get that.
I'm done.
All I'm saying
I want
is
the guy. I want Sanders.
By the time the wrist shows up, or if it's Cam Ward or whoever pulls
the
up,
wrist.
Whoever
we're
pulls
manifesting,
up,
brother.
we just need a real offensive
They're
coordinator.
They're going to get him one.
And
They'll
if
get him
AP has the culture in place to incubate the nigga and facilitate his growth, then let him be the coach.
So one thing that Dion said was that he likes the coaches over there. So now Dion
probably Patrick Graham. He couldn't have been talking about Getsy.
No, no, he was talking about AP and Patrick Graham.
Okay,
I think he was talking about just like because Dion
and
AP have similar approaches in the locker room.
Yeah,
and so that's where my dad's point was really good. Is my dad was just like, AP has a way with the players where the players are going to buy into him. In order to have a really good offense, you got to have a great mind. Getsy's not it. We know it. He got fired in the middle of the season with, Justin Fields' situation. And I fuck with Jay Fields for sure. I wouldn't even be mad if they traded for him now and see what but I can't. I need the mind that does this. 1, 2, 3, dump off. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Facts.
I need that. What I've seen from Sanders so far in college is that.
Yeah,
that's my guy. That's my number one quarterback out of college this year. Cam Ward's 2, Ewers is 3, Beck is 4. Because I watched what Ewers did last week, and I'm like, okay, he looked dusty in the first.
He's had a tough test this week with Georgia.
Yeah, so that's going to be a good thing to watch. But I've never been more excited to watch college football.
Brother, I've been locked in because we need a quarterback. So, I've been locked in.
So I think it'll be Sanders, and I believe that Brady coming in should be a sign that things are going in the right direction. They're righting the ship. It's really, really hard to do because I can have Billion bring up a list of all 32 teams. Can you do that for me, Bill, actually? I want to talk about this real quick. I just want X. I've done this with X a couple of times, but I just want to show you how difficult this is. Okay? This isn't easy. This league's been around for a long time, but this isn't easy, all right? So, Arizona Cardinals, how many Super Bowls they got, X?
Gooser.
How many do the Falcons have?
Oh,
Goose.
The rip of my mind.
I think they have 0.
They might have 0.
Maybe they have 1. Panthers, 0.
I get where
When's
this
the last?
is going.
Come on. When's the last time the Bears have been in a Super Bowl?
Rex.
Yeah. Cowboys have 5. How many Lions got?
Probably 0.
0. How many Super Bowls have they been in? No, Lions have 0, and they've never even played in a Super Bowl.
Texans 0. I get where
Packers
you're
are
going.
incredible. They have what, 5? The Rams have 2. The Vikings have, I believe, 0. The Saints have 1, I believe. Giants have 4. Philly has, I think, 2, maybe 3. Ravens have 2. Buffalo 0. Bengals 0. Browns 0. Broncos 3. Texans 0. Colts 1 or maybe 2, but I'm not going to count like the 20s. Jags 0. Chiefs now have 4. Raiders 3. Chargers 0. Dolphins have 3, and I think it's because they won 3 in a row. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Listen, brother.
Hold on. We're not done. Niners have 5. Their dominance was in the 90s, and they paid. They didn't have cap regulations, so they paid second stringers to be on the team and not go anywhere else. So they kind of cheated their way to some of those. Seahawks have 1. Could have had 2. Bucks have 2. Commanders have 3. Titans have 0. Shit was a fucking yard short. Steelers have 6, I believe. Jets may have some from fucking the 40s. Patriots have 6. And if I go through all these teams one more time, so the Eagles have a franchise quarterback. The Saints have their guy. Vikings have.
Yeah, but the Saints don't have the guy.
For now, they're not going to go away from him, and they have Rattler, so they'll try him more. Bears have their guy. Cowboys have their guy. Broncos have their guy. Texans have their guy. Browns do not. Bengals do. Falcons do. Ravens do. Cardinals do. Buffalo does. So if you look at that, the Raiders don't have their guy. They all have their guy. And it took some of these teams fucking decades to find their guy. And meanwhile, from 1960 to 2002, the Raiders had the highest winning percentage and were in Super Bowls and playoffs all the time because they had Al Davis. When Al Davis got really old, he started to like lose his ability to draft. He couldn't progress. Mark has been around football his entire life, but never played it, never coached it, like never was a GM like Al was. Now, when you look at that stuff, see, it's a little less stressful
but
on our situation.
It still applies the same amount of stress because it took those teams time to get those quarterbacks.
Decades.
But the Lions still had playoff appearances. Cardinals still were in Super Bowls. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Lions
there has been
one playoff appearance.
And the Cardinals had the Kurt Warner era.
Carson.
The Bengals had the Carson Palmer era. You see what I'm saying?
Cardinals had the Carson Palmer era too.
The Raiders didn't have an era in this gap. It's just been ineptitude.
That's the thing.
So every day when I wake up, I don't compare myself to the lowest common denominator because the Panthers haven't won. I am looking at the fact that we are on a small deserted island, and everywhere you step, it's a landmine with the Chiefs' name on it. And that's the world that we live in.
I wasn't comparing
I'm not saying that you were. I'm just saying all the teams.
I was showing throughout history
how hard it is.
How hard it is to get a Super Bowl. The Raiders having 3 is very impressive
compared
to because we're in the top tier of the percentages. Now listen,
but
I know we haven't won a playoff game since 2002. Actually, I was there. I was at the Raiders Jets game, and then my dad and my uncle went to the Titans game. So I was there, brother. And then my dad and uncle went to the Super Bowl when we lost. And ever since then, it's just been a pitfall. 2016,
that's what I'm saying.
We were dominant.
Other teams have had eras. Before Mahomes showed up, the Chiefs had success with Alex Smith winning playoff games. There has been no stretch of Raiders success.
Say Chiefs and then say who was really behind the success for me, just so the viewers know.
Andy Reid.
Okay.
I get that, but I'm saying, so right now we're going to say who was behind the success of the Raiders.
And then what about
what are we going to say?
That's what I'm saying. But what about the Steelers? How many coaches they had in the last 20 years, 30 years?
They had Tomlin. They won a Super Bowl. Cowboys.
What about before then? Okay, exactly. Now, what about Niners were kind of like us. They had that early 2000s was rough for the Niners too. They had about 10 years of
now
losing.
they're perennial NFC championship game
perennial
players.
Super Bowl losers as well. But they have a coach, and that's the key. So I'm hoping that actually, you know what? The key is 40% head coach, 60% offensive coordinator. Please.
Sometimes you get 2 and 1. Sometimes you get 2 and 1.
Yeah, and that's the harder part. Like, how can the Raiders find a head coach that gets those kind of that can just that
can take Malik Willis and get 2 wins in a row.
That's the rarity that I think that's even rarer than finding a franchise quarterback.
Finding a coach.
A coach that does both, that has the philosophy and is able to get the locker
And
room.
you got to find a
Because
brilliant
you
mind.
had like Belichick, he didn't have the locker room.
He's a defensive coach.
But he had the mind. So everybody trusted him because it's like, damn, these fools are winning. So I could
built
be
the culture, built the structure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want the no music playing old
I'm not saying
fucking culture at
I'm
my
just saying
shit.
if
We
we're
can't have
I'm
that
just saying
anymore.
if we're 3-5, don't smoke cigars.
Yeah.
It's been so long since we won, bro. Like I
Yeah.
get it that like they want to feel good and if you guys are
The
watching
cigar
this,
smoking
if
started after the Chiefs win, correct?
any Raider players that are watching this, this is no hate. This is all I just want you guys to win. So whatever it takes, I am for. If they say
Was that it? Actually, that's when the cigar started, right after the Chiefs game. Yeah, they
I don't know,
smoked
but
in their
even
locker room.
even like playing against the Chiefs, then beating them, then lapping the stadium,
last team to beat them actually was us.
It was, but and that says something to what AP can build. So I'm not saying that I want him out.
Let's say this to end this argument that we're in or debate we're in.
No, as you guys could see at home, that it's been a thing for a couple of weeks. The conversation. This is therapy. We have to get this off.
Okay. We're gonna hang on to AP right now.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be on this podcast talking about jumping from him. Both of us agree that we're done with Getsy.
Yes.
Both of us agree that we need a quarterback. Both of us agree that we're happy with Tom being in the building.
Yes.
That is a good thing that Mark Davis decided to do because that's a decision he did. He's worth 6 Bs now. That team is worth 6 Bs. We were under $1 billion in Oakland. That man moved this team to get us up to that level, to profit to that level, which, Al Davis was all about making money. You could get to that level and winning, obviously, but like you had to win to make money. Now, if Mark gets this in the right way and we start winning, like we win consistently, we're going to end up being the most expensive franchise in football. Because look at the Cowboys. Cowboys are valued as the highest, valued franchise in football. And them motherfuckers is dusting right now.
No,
I think they've given up damn near 130 points.
And I'm not trying to
in all their home games.
I don't want the people at home to sit here and think that I'm anti-AP or anti-anything. But after a team loses, as long as we've lost, I have the right to question anything. And then when they show us the results will be what they are. But until then,
the frustrating part, X, and I think I join you on this, is that I'm just as frustrated, if not, because you have to calm me down and you have to cool me down and you have to bring me out of like mental funks because of this team. Because not only have I invested my time, but my family invested money into them. We were season ticket holders.
You're going this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going this weekend. Since when we got back to Oakland and my dad became a season ticket holder, I grew up in that stadium and I grew up with this team, and this team means more to me than just football. I played football. I've coached football. I watch football. I live and breathe it. During the football season, I'm as happy as I can be and as sad as I can be at the same time. And I've given a lot of my emotions to this team. I've even kind of slightly like lost relationships with women because of this team, because after a loss, I used to be so bad. Like I didn't want to go do anything, no target runs after a Raider loss. I used to just fall asleep, go to bed. Now I don't. Now I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm realizing it's just a sport. But to me, it is more than that. It's a connection that I have with my family. It's a connection that I have with my nephews. I'll include it in the family, but just like something that I carry on. It's a tradition in my family. Out of the many, many, many members of my family, I think we got maybe two Niner fans, but the rest are Raider fans. We bleed this, brother. This is my life. These guys are my life. This is why I really wanted to do this show with you. I'm happy I met you because you're a Raider fan. You're in this with me. We're in the delusion together. Saul is with me too.
Shout out
my
to Saul.
family's all with me too. Everybody's in this delusion. I'm going Sunday, bro. I'm going to SoFi.
Yeah,
our other homes, we're like 1-5 there, 1-6.
You deserve a Purple Heart Award.
That's
brother,
it,
for
brother.
going to that game.
All I want, I want a quarterback, but I just that if we're gonna win 3 games, let it be this Sunday for me. Raiders, please. Me and my dad, like, he's coming to LA. Usually when my family comes to SoCal, we go to Disneyland. Like, please just come down. Give me a dub. Let me and my dad have a good Sunday together, because that when we win, me and my dad are in the happiest moods. We can watch Sunday Night Football together and be in a good mood. and I really want to just like be there with my family and enjoy the time. And, it's going to be 60, 70% Raider fans. Like it's, it's a reminder of why we, nothing is bigger than the Shield. We all come together. Max Crosby's the only thing bigger than the Shield, in my opinion. But,
shout out to Max.
But I want them to get it together. I believe that we should title this episode "Right the Ship," and because I believe that's what we're doing. And it's hard to say in a storm like this, in an autumn wind like this, that's knocking us on our ass. No Kuntz, no Wilkins, no Adams. Even Myers has been was out last week and is probably going to be out this week. It's really hard to win with that happening, everything against you. And I pray for the Raiders. I pray for Max because he's the leader of our team, that we can right this ship for you, brother. And I hope that if you ever see our podcast, I hope you know we're two of your biggest fans. We want you to stay a Raider. We want you to get the quarterback, because I truly, truly believe that we are a good quarterback away from being very competitive.
Now, I just want to do this disclaimer before we sign off. For some of the younger Raider fans that have never experienced a season like this, some things that you can do to stay locked in and engage the rest of the season, just find some players on the team that you want to see there next year and just monitor their growth.
Yeah.
See, we've been through these.
We do this.
These 3-14 or these 3-13.
Like we want to see Trey
before.
Tucker do well.
We want to see Trey Tucker
see
go
the rookie
crazy.
lineman grow.
Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones continue to
Ja'Cory
improve.
Bennett. You want to see Pal Mal. You want to see him improve. He's actually doing really well. But
yeah.
You just want to see these things. You want to see things get better. And watch a lot of college football, because you're going to want to see what we can take in the future, because the Raiders still do, even with some of the good players we have, we still do need a cornerback, depending on what we do with Kuntz.
We could use an RB1.
Yeah, we're going to use, we need a running back, which we may be able to get in free agency. Receiver, we need a receiver now, which we can probably, I'm hoping for T. Higgins, cross my fingers. He just quoted me. Fuck. I'm hoping for that, and that's about it. Maybe we can use another offensive lineman. You can always use those. Another defensive lineman. Like I said, I want to re-sign Kuntz, but if that's not what works out, maybe we can get a good D end. But that's it. Give me a quarterback, baby, and this ship is going to start steering in the right way. The autumn wind will be back. The Raiders will be back. The NFL is better when the Raiders are better. Let's go out there this Sunday. Let's play a competitive game. No more blowouts. AP, you got to show us that if you're going to lose, brother, in this season, don't get blown out. Don't make this embarrassing. And you brought so much attitude to this team. Don't lose that, bro. It don't matter what the record is. Show some heart. Because when we were 0-10 with Derek Carr and we won the 3 out of those last 4 games, that heart showed me what we were going to become. And what happened? The following year, we get a little bit better. And then the year after that, we become great. And I believe that the Raiders have what it takes to be great. It just takes having a quarterback. So let's right this ship.
Let's do it.
Let's come back next week.
Let's do it.
Let's hopefully be talking about a Raiders win.
Let's do it.
And let's continue to have therapy together. Get this off of our chests.
This one was good.
Strengthen our friendship.
Yes.
Strengthen our team. We love you guys. We hope you love this episode. And we'll see you guys next week.
You ain't touching nothing that I do. I mean no disrespect.
Run that up, yeah.